Hey, what is going on, guys? DK back at you with another video here for an early look at the Week 5 main slate here on Draftkings. Before I get into the video, a couple things. One, really do appreciate all the support I'm getting on this channel. We're over 650 subscribers, which is just insane. And then two, I'm doing a weekly giveaway here on this channel where all you have to do to enter the giveaway is leave a like and a comment in the video. That's one entry into the giveaway. Max one comment, though, per video. And then starting with my Monday Night Football video and going throughout the week until the next Monday Night Football video where I will announce the video. You can enter it that many times. So I'll probably have 5 videos up, so you can technically enter the giveaway 5 times if you'd like. If you're new to the channel, I hope you enjoy the content. Again, we got new videos up basically every single day with NBA right around the corner. Preseason starts in a few days, so I'll have videos up for that. And with that out of the way, let's jump into it. So first, before we get into the Week 5 prices, let's look back at Week 4 and see how we did. So this is my final lineup for the Week 4 main slate. Went with Russell Wilson, Kerryon, McCaffrey, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Lockett, Paul Richardson, Evan Ingram, Wayne Gallman, and the Broncos D. So if you guys watch my content for the Week 4, I kind of hinted at the running backs that were playing. I really liked Wayne Gallman for cash and GPPs. Like 4.6K was just too cheap. He was not as high owned as I thought he'd be. I thought he'd be one of the most popular guys. He was only like 30, 40, a little bit like 50% owned around in that range for cash games. I thought it'd be a lot higher. Same thing with McCaffrey. It was close between him and Eckler for me, but I just liked the upside a bit more there with McCaffrey. And then Kerryon Johnson, too, one of my favorite backs. He got over 100 yards. Didn't get in the end zone, though, which is a bit frustrating. Could have had a huge day if he would have pounded one in for the 1 yard line. He fumbled on the one, and then Kansas City took it back for a 99-yard touchdown. But yeah, the running backs were key for me. The wide receivers, Cooper Kupp was big. That game was insane. Over 100 points scored. And the Rams were playing from behind the whole game, so it was a great game script for me and Cooper Kupp. I paired Russell Wilson with Tyler Lockett. Now, my one concern with them was that if Arizona couldn't score the ball, then they would just pound Chris Carson, and that's kind of what happened. There's a defensive touchdown for Seattle, a Will Dissly touchdown, who I was nervous about fading, but I did fade him. So yeah, it was a little, not the best day because, again, they were just playing from the lead, and they just worked Chris Carson, who I did like for GPPs. He had over 100 yards. Played him in the afternoon slate. Chris Carson was pretty big. Paul Richardson was one letdown. I'll take that out there for sure. Washington was just a complete mess with Keenum, with Haskins. I think it was like 5 picks thrown between the two. Washington just needed to score some points, and then this game could have been definitely a shootout. So that hurt Evan Ingram because the Giants were just off to a huge lead, and they just worked the run game most of the game. So not much I could do there. Then the Broncos D was. I talked about the Broncos D and the Bears D. Really like them. Both those defenses were solid. But yeah, Will Dissly was a guy I was nervous about fading. He paid off for people. He was the most popular tight end. But yeah, like I said, it was a really good week for me. I more than doubled my money. Won $262 in this $100 entry. So I really can't complain. But that's out of the way. Let's look into the salaries here for Week 5. So before we try to break down all the salaries here, let's look at the over-unders for all the games right now. So starting with Arizona Cincinnati, sitting at 48. Atlanta and Houston's 48.5. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, 42.5. Buffalo and Tennessee is 38.5. The Bears and the Raiders are 41. Jags, Panthers, 41. There's a lot of ugly games in the slate. Minnesota and the Giants sitting at 45. Patriots, Redskins, 43.5. Jets, Eagles, 44.5. Bucks, Saints, 47. Broncos, Chargers, 44.5. And then Packers and Cowboys sitting at 46.5. So there definitely are a lot of ugly games. There's a few games I do like for GPP stacks we'll get to here in a sec. But let's look at quarterback. We'll start at the top with Lamar Jackson. 7.1K. Definitely viable for cash games as well as GPPs. He has such a high floor because of his rushing upside with 120 yards, 46 yards, and 66 yards on the ground. Yeah, his floor is so high because of that rushing upside. So definitely if you have the salary, he's viable at 7.1K. I like the bounce back spot for Deshaun Watson here at 6.7. I had a surprising off day against Carolina in a lower scoring game. I thought that one could have been a sneaky shootout, but it definitely was low scoring. Atlanta's defense is a get-right spot. When we saw Mariota just light up the Falcons, so Deshaun Watson can definitely do the same here. The concern is if Atlanta can't keep up with them, then Houston could get off to an early lead and then maybe just pound the rock, like kind of the situation we saw with Seattle and Arizona. So that is the one concern with Deshaun Watson, but the matchup is really good here at home. Brady's okay at 6.5K. Never really a guy target for DFS, but I get it if you want to go there. The matchup's really good. Don't mind him, I guess. Kyler Murray is a guy I'm intrigued by. I like this game as part of the game stack. Arizona and Cincinnati, two really bad teams, two really bad defenses. Arizona plays at a fast pace. Cincinnati likes playing at a slow pace. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how this game flows, I guess. I'd assume Cincinnati will probably play at a faster pace to keep up with Arizona, but who knows. Kyler at 6.3K. I like the upside on him. Again, he's got the rushing upside as well. A little riskier just because the offense line is so bad. This Arizona offense, though, is running like a college offense. Just quick passes and like a hurry-up offense. I don't mind Kyler Murray. Same thing with Jameis Winston. I think he's going to be really popular at 6.2K. This is one game I also like. Another game I like for GameStack, Tampa Bay and New Orleans. Back-to-back, 30 fantasy point games basically for Jameis. So definitely can't go wrong here at 6.2K. I think he's a little underpriced. I think he's going to be popular, but don't mind him at all here in one of the higher over-under games of the slate. Carson Wentz, never really a guy I get to, but I get it at 6.1K. Rodgers and Dak are interesting. Don't have a great feel in this Green Bay-Dallas game. It could turn into a shootout. It could turn into a really slow, grinded-out game, but don't mind either. Matt Ryan's okay. Phillip Rivers, okay. Andy Dalton's interesting at 5.7K. And we really want to stream players against Arizona. 5.7K seems a little bit too cheap, so don't mind Andy Dalton at 5.7. Josh Allen's in concussion protocols. That's something we have to monitor. Daniel Jones, don't think I want to go there against Minnesota. Gardner Minshew's interesting at 5.3. I do like the matchup here. The concern is, though, Jacksonville likes running really a slow offense and is handed off to Fournette. But the matchup is good, and Minshew has flashed a good amount of upside, so don't mind him as a cheap option. Kirk Cousins, this could be the get-right spot, but he's looked terrible so far. But yeah, the Giants' defense, nothing to be scared about. So this could be the get-right spot for Kirk Cousins. Bridgewater's okay at 5.2K. Don't mind the matchup at all. Kyle Allen, don't think I want to go there. That's basically it. So let's move on to running back real quick. So start at the top with McCaffrey. He has such a high floor every single day. But this is, not the best matchup here against Jacksonville. So this could be the game where I get off McCaffrey. Still is in consideration, though, just because, again, he's out there the whole time. They utilize him so much. He has such a high floor. It's just the matchup not as good here. Kamara at 8.6, definitely considering as one of my spend-ups. Again, this is one of the higher over-unders on the day. The downside is, again, no Drew Brees. So the offense definitely takes a hit with Bridgewater running the show, but still don't mind Kamara as a spend-up. Same thing with Dalvin Cook and Zeke. Cook going against the Giants here. They just utilize him so much, and he's getting utilized in the passing game as well with 5 and 8 targets each of the last couple of games. And the Giants defense I'm not scared of at all. So Dalvin Cook, a spend-up I'm liking as well. Same thing with Zeke. I know he didn't have a great day there against New Orleans with only 18 carries for 35 yards, but he's out there basically the whole game. I think Tony Pollard only got a couple snaps. So again, in close games, it should be mostly all Zeke. And they fed him a lot here. So I don't mind him at all at 8.3K. And then below that, David Johnson's always in play because of the PPR upside. Again, this game could turn into a shootout with two really bad teams going up against each other. He doesn't get a whole lot of rushing work, but he gets utilized so much in the passing game with 7, 9, 11 targets. So don't mind him there for GPPs. Melvin Gordon, they said they're going to ease him back. So this is a situation I'm kind of staying away from. It definitely is going to affect Eckler. And I don't think we can go there with Gordon yet. So it's a situation I'm probably going to stay away from with the running backs for the Chargers. Le'Veon. So Sam Darnold actually might give it a go this week. I don't expect it, but he's listed as questionable. I guess, yeah, we're not going to get confirmation until later in the week. But I would only target Le'Veon if Sam Darnold's going to play. If Sam Darnold's out, that Jets offense will just be a mess again. I probably wouldn't want to go there. Again, Eckler probably going to pass for me. Fournette, I think, is going to be one of the more popular backs on the slate, but for good reason. He's out there basically the whole game. They're just utilizing him so much, even in the passing game as well. 6.4K just seems too cheap. The matchup's good against Carolina. Yeah, I think he's going to be probably the most popular running back in the slate, but I like him a lot there for cash game. Seems really safe. Mark Ingram's okay. James Conner's interesting, but he just got banged up there. I was watching the games in the third quarter right now. It looks like maybe that knee injury again. So that's a situation we have to monitor. Joe Mixon at 6.1 I like because, again, Arizona's defense, one of the worst defenses in the league. The concern is, though, that he's really not out there the whole time. It's kind of an even split with him and Gio. Now, Mixon will get more work. Will Gio more involved in the passing game? But, yeah, I think Mixon's okay here, 6.1K. Derrick Henry's a pass. Aaron Jones, definitely someone I'm considering in the mid-range. Jamal Williams currently listed as questionable. I don't expect him to play. So Aaron Jones could be in line for a big workload here. Hasn't done much on the rushing game for the past couple games with only 10 carries for 19 yards, 13 for 21. But he's being utilized in the passing game. Again, if there's no Jamal Williams, I expect Aaron Jones to get most of the work. So 5.9K, I would like him a good amount, again, if there's no Jamal Williams. Sony Michel's interesting at 5.5K. Just the Patriots, you never can really expect what they're going to do with the running back situation. They have Michel, they have Burkhead, they have James White. But yeah, this is a pretty good matchup, a game that New England should be playing from ahead in. So don't mind Sony Michel at 5.5K. The risk is, again, they utilize two other backs. Wayne Gallman probably going to get off here against Minnesota. I like the matchup a lot there in week 4. Week 5, again, a lot tougher matchup. So I think he's still in play because he's going to be utilized a lot. Again, great pass catching back. He showed 6 catches for 55 yards. But I might pass here just because the matchup pretty tough against Minnesota. Devontae Freeman I'll probably pass as well with Ito Smith back. Montgomery's interesting, but I just don't like that the Bears utilize him, Tariq Cohen. They kind of phased Mike Davis out of the lineup, but they still, again, utilize 2 backs. Jordan Howard, I think I'll pass. I think the ownership will be up on him. Philly still utilizes 3 backs as well. He did look really good there, but I don't want to play back in a 3-headed monster, so I'm going to pass. Let others chase that. Let's see. As far as cheap backs go, there's really not a whole lot. I mean, Chris Thompson, Washington should be playing from behind here, but that offense just looked like a complete mess. But it should be good game script for Chris Thompson, so I don't mind him there for GPPs. See, Josh Jacobs, I'll pass against Chicago's defense. Don't want to go there. Miles Sanders, again, I don't really want to play it back in a 3-headed monster. Burkhead, but he really didn't get worked there in week 4 at all. The cheap options, it's pretty tough. I mean, Dexter Williams will probably be the number 2 back if there's no Jamal Williams, but really how much work he's doing are we going to expect him to get? Probably not a whole lot. I don't think I want to take a shot. Well, let me go to actually Pittsburgh really quick because James Conner is banged up. I don't know if he's going to be able to go for week 5 here. So we could look to Jalen Samuels as a cheap option. They've been utilizing him a lot here in this game for what I've seen so far. A lot of quick, short passes. So he could be a value guy that could be pretty popular if there's no James Conner. So that's the situation we have to monitor. Let's move on to wide receiver. DeAndre Hopkins, 3 straight pretty quiet games. This could be the breakout game, pairing him with Deshaun Watson against Atlanta. The concern is, again, can Atlanta keep it close so Houston has to score? But the matchup's really good here at home, so don't mind that pairing. Julio, you can go to Julio basically every single week. Devontae Adams, list is questionable. That's the situation we have to monitor. If he's out, that would obviously be a boost to MVS and Geronimo Allison. Keenan Allen, I get it. The matchup not the best, though, but he has such a high floor because he's targeted so much. Was kind of a letdown there. He was really popular. So in week 4, I was surprised how high owned him and Eckler were. They're both like 80% owned. I get it, but I like shit myself when I saw that ownership and I didn't have either. So watching that Chargers Miami game took a few years off my life because I didn't have either of those guys, but still ended up cashing. But again, I was really nervous I didn't have both those guys. Mike Evans and Godwin at 7.1, 6.9. Like these guys a good amount here. I think they're going to be pretty popular. But again, one of the higher over-unders of the slate. And you could definitely pair him with Jameis, who I think is a little underpriced. So Mike Evans, Godwin, both definitely in consideration here. Amari Cooper at 6.8K I think is perfectly fine. I like the upside. The price seems a little too cheap. Again, I don't have a great feel on this Green Bay and Dallas game. It could be a slow grinded out game or it could be a shootout. But I do like the upside there with Amari Cooper. Thielen and Diggs, this could be the get-right spot for him. I think Minnesota guys are going to go really low owned besides Dalvin Cook, just because the passing game hasn't been there. But this could be the get-right spot for Thielen or Diggs. Again, it's very risky because Kirk Cousins looked terrible, but the matchup's really good. So I don't mind going risking it with Thielen or Diggs. Don't think I would do it for cash games, but for GPPs, I like the upside. Now, Michael Thomas is way too cheap here at 6.6K. I know he's not playing with Drew Brees, but he's like a number one receiver. He gets targeted so much here. 13, 13, 7, 9 targets. The matchup's good here. This is a game that could turn into a shootout, so I like the price a lot there on Michael Thomas. Same thing with Tyler Boyd at 6.5K. Just such a safe option. And this game, again, two really bad defenses. Arizona, one of the worst, if not the worst defense in the league. They play at such a fast pace, so I like Tyler Boyd a good amount too at 6.5K. That just seems really cheap. Juju is okay at 6.4. The New England guys are okay with Edelman, Josh Gordon, and Dorsett. It's just New England's kind of a balanced team, but the matchup's pretty good here. Fitzgerald, there's no Christian Kirk. Don't think Christian Kirk's going to play. That injury looks kind of nasty, so we looked at Larry Fitzgerald and a couple of value guys, so we'll get to in a sec for Arizona. Let's see. Don't mind Allen Robinson here at 5.6K. The question is, can Oakland keep it close so Chicago has to pass? But also Mitch Trubisky listed as questionable. That's a situation we'll have to monitor as well. Again, MVS and Geronimo will get a boost if there's no Devontae Adams. Let's see. John Ross, don't mind. Don't think I could go for cash games. He's a little more boom or bust, but I do like the upside on him. So Dorsett, don't mind him there, 4.9K. Golden Tate's going to be back here for a week. Has completed his 4-game suspension, is eligible to return. Okay, so wouldn't mind him here at 4.6K. The problem is, again, the matchup not the best going up to Minnesota, but 4.6K for Golden Tate seems a little too cheap, so he's definitely a guy I would consider in the cheap range. Paul Richardson, I mean, you're not going to go great about it because you let a lot of people down, but if there's no McLaurin, you could go back to the well there. I think the ownership will be minimal on him. Let's see, cheap options. So Auden Tate at 3.5K seems really cheap. Again, he's played 90% of the snaps there in week, 3 or 4? And then in this game, he's been out there basically the whole time. So he's a value guy that I'm definitely considering here. Again, two really bad teams. And if he's going to be out there basically the whole time, then I like that. So 3.5K Auden Tate, probably one of my favorite value plays right now on the slate. And then let's go to Arizona receivers. So Bird was out. Christian Kirk probably going to be out too. If both those guys are out, it's going to be Keyshawn Johnson and Sherfield. They're going to pick up most of those snaps. So these are two guys we could get on if there's no Bird and Kirk. So that's a situation we have to monitor later in the week. As far as the tight ends go, tight ends pretty tricky this week. A lot of the top tight ends are in tough matchups. Now, Ertz is probably the safest at 6K. The matchup pretty solid here. The concern is, can the Jets score enough to where Philly has to pass it? But yeah, he's in a decent matchup here. Evan Ingram in a tough matchup against Minnesota. Don't know if I want to go there, but I still like the upside on him. Same thing with Darren Waller. Really tough matchup against Chicago, but he still has upside. Mark Andrews, I'll probably pass because Baltimore just utilizes 3 tight ends. But he still can get you there in limited snaps, so I don't mind Mark Andrews. Austin Hooper at 4.5K is a guy who's surprisingly done really well this season. 9, 6, 7, 11 targets. This one could turn into a shootout too, so I don't mind Austin Hooper, surprisingly. Yeah, he's had a really good year this year, so he's someone we got to consider. Jimmy Graham at 4.3K is just okay. If there's no Devontae Adams, that would be a boost to Jimmy Graham. Got targeted 9 times there, 6 catches for 61 yards, so would probably like him a little bit more if there's no Devontae. Greg Olsen, I'll probably pass in a tough matchup. O.J. Howard, yeah, I don't mind it. He's had a really bad start to the year, but this is a game where, again, one of the higher over-unders could turn into a shootout, so I don't mind O.J. Howard there, 3.9. And then it's like, it's pretty tricky from here. I mean, Jared Cook at 3.4K is okay. But you're not going to feel great about any of these tight ends. Like the Cincinnati tight ends with Eifert and Uzoma, they kind of split the work. I would like it if one of those guys was getting like 70-80% of the snaps, but it seems like an even split right now. And that's basically it for tight end. So again, tight end's pretty tricky for me. I don't have a great feel on it. Right now, I mean, Ertz is probably the safest with like Austin Hooper, Jimmy Graham. Yeah, it's kind of ugly for tight ends. So let's move on to defenses. A couple of defenses I'm looking at right now. Obviously, the Bears, you can target them every single week. I would obviously prefer if they were at home, but the Raiders are kind of a mess right now, so don't mind the Bears. Same thing with the Patriots. Washington turned the ball over like 5 times, so don't mind either of those as a spend-up defense. Other like cheaper options, the Titans, if there's no Josh Allen, I would like them a lot at home. So that's the situation we have to monitor. And the Chargers at home at 2.7K, don't mind that. But that's basically it for defenses. And I think that's about it for the video as well, guys. So if you have been enjoying the content so far, I'd really appreciate it if you would like this video and subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section down below. Again, if you want to be entered in the giveaway, all you have to do is leave a like and a comment in this video. That's one entry into the giveaway. And I'll probably have 5 videos up for this week, so you can enter it 5 times. The winner will be announced in my Monday Night Football Showdown Slate video. And I'll be live streaming for the Thursday Night Showdown Slate video on YouTube, probably about 30 minutes before lock. So be on the lookout for that. I'll have my video up for that as well, probably tomorrow on my channel. So yeah, I will see you guys then. So thanks for checking out the video.